In the heart of New York City, where dreams often go to die, 26-year-old Ethan Matthews stares at his laptop screen. Another rejection email lights up his face in the dim apartment. 3 years of trying to make it as a writer, and all he has to show for it is a growing collection of such letters. The rent is due next week, and his part-time job at the coffee shop barely covers his expenses. His father's words echo in his mind, "Maybe it's time to get a real job, son." Each day, the weight of unfulfilled potential presses harder on his shoulders. But this morning is different. Among the usual bills and junk mail, there's an envelope that doesn't belong. The paper is aged, yellowed at the edges, and addressed in familiar handwriting that makes Ethan's heart skip a beat. It's signed, "Your grandfather John," the same grandfather who passed away a decade ago. Paper rustling. Inside, the letter speaks of summer days spent reading adventure stories, of ice cream stains on library books, and the time 5-year-old Ethan declared he would write the greatest story ever told. Details so intimate, so precise, they couldn't possibly come from a stranger. The final words pierce through Ethan's fog of doubt. "Every answer you seek can be found in the old library." Footsteps on concrete, then creaking door. The abandoned library on 83rd Street stands like a forgotten monument to literature. Yellow caution tape crosses the entrance, but Ethan knows another way in. The same way he and his grandfather would sneak in on Sundays when the library was closed. Dust motes dance in beams of light, filtering through broken windows. The smell of aged paper and memories fills his lungs. He moves through the stacks like a man in a dream, following an invisible thread of childhood recollections. Sound of books sliding from shelf. There, in the corner where they used to read together, he finds it. A leather-bound journal, unremarkable, except for the initials JM stamped in gold. Inside, page after page of his grandfather's distinctive script tells a story Ethan never knew. The story of another young man who once feared he'd never be good enough. Pages turning. "And dear grandson," a one entry reads, "I know the day will come when you'll face the same demons I did. The fear of failure, the temptation to give up on your dreams. But remember this, our greatest stories come from our deepest struggles." Soft wind through broken windows. As Ethan reads, something shifts inside him. Each word is a key unlocking something he thought he'd lost. His grandfather's journal reveals a man who fought the same battles, who understood the price of dreams, and who never stopped believing in the power of stories. Paper rustling. Then typing. That night, Ethan begins to write. Not for publishers or acclaim, but for the pure joy of creation that first sparked his love of writing. He tells the story of a mysterious letter, an abandoned library, and the bridge between generations built by words. City sounds fade in. 6 months later, Ethan stands in that same library, now renovated and reopened. His novel, Letters from Yesterday, sits prominently on display. As sunlight streams through the restored windows, he looks up and smiles, knowing somewhere his grandfather is smiling too. Sometimes our greatest guides through the darkness are those who walked the path before us, leaving breadcrumbs in the form of words, waiting for the moment we're ready to find them.